Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Hello to any parents watching this on Parent Night, and then hello to you all students who I'll be working with this year for 2017-2018. Obviously, I'm not with you physically right now. Unfortunately, I wish I could be there, but I'm in the Indiana Army National Guard, and sometimes I have training requirements that come up. And this year's training, or main training, happened to fall in mid-July to mid-August. So I'll be back in the classroom around August 11th. So you're going to have about 2 weeks of school before I get there, but I can still give you some background information and hopefully answer a lot of your questions and set the stage for us to be successful this year. All right, first off, if you're just in my impact class or if you're taking impact, that class is very student topic driven. So what we'll do when everyone gets to class and I'm back, we'll nominate topics students want to learn about. They're not necessarily related to social studies, but we have looked at criminology, the legal system, World War II, mythology, a wide variety of things. So anyway, kids will nominate topics, and then we will practice our research skills, small group skills, presentations, doing research and picking out useful, trustworthy information as opposed to falling for stuff that might be less reliable. And then we'll present those to our classes. And so that's kind of our rhythm for my impact class each year. For social studies, you'll notice you've got 3 letters or 3 stacks of paper in the front of the classroom that I've left for you. The first one is a welcome letter that looks like this. And it tells you a little bit about what we're going to learn about this year. We're going to be focusing on U.S. history and social studies. We will go all the way back to a little bit of North American, European, and African history before the Columbian expedition, where Christopher Columbus came over and we started having a lot of trade. But really our class picks up its tempo with the age of exploration, when people start traveling back and forth between North America and Europe and Africa especially. So our first quarter, we'll look at that era of exploration and then colonization as Europeans moved over to North America, many times bringing with them African slaves, and then how that affected the Native Americans who already lived there. In the second quarter, we'll be focusing on the American Revolution, how we gained our independence, and then how we developed our Constitution that we live under today. The third quarter, when we come back after winter break, we'll look at the strengthening and expansion of the U.S., how the country grew, why it grew, how that drove conflict, how people lived, stuff like that. And then finally, we'll get into the divide in our nation leading up to the Civil War in the mid-1800s. And then we'll finish the year with Reconstruction, where the country tries to put itself back together. But all of that is summarized again in the welcome letter. You're more than welcome to take one of these. Yeah, that's fine. Second thing, to try to answer your questions, and a lot of times I get the same questions pretty regularly year to year, I have created something called Mr. Frederick's Frequently Asked Questions, or FAQs. You may have seen something like this on a website before that you visited, but I've made this for my classroom. So rather than read it all to you and potentially bore you with details, just look through the index here, and the beauty of this on the website, which I'll give you a link to in a minute, you can just click on the question and it will take you to the answer, and that's going to be much easier than you having to sort through this document. So please only take a paper copy if you really need it or really prefer print media, because again, it's available on the Google Classroom and the website, and I'll give you all that information in just a moment. But if you're wondering what you need for class each day, like supplies, or will there be homework, or how do I get extra help if I feel like I'm getting behind, or how do I earn a pride score of 2, or what do I do to get pirate bucks, or any information like that, that is all going to be in this document. And we'll, if you still have questions though, by all means contact me, but this should take care of most general issues. The third document, and this is another one everyone needs to take home, is the Frequently Asked Questions Acknowledgement Form. This is your way of letting me know that you have read this and that you don't have any questions or anticipate any issues this school year. There's a place for the student to write their name and sign after they've read it, and then as a parent or guardian, your place to write your name and sign. Now here at the bottom, this part's extra helpful, and you can hopefully see this easier on the paper copies up there. But I have contact information, including my email, the school's phone number. There is a link here to the Google Classroom. This is where kids will get most of their assignments, but you can only access that through my GCCS email. So like your Google or your email account will not work on that. So I have a public website right here that I have built, and we'll update weekly and let you know kind of what we're learning about, what assignments are due, and what's coming up, so that you can, as a parent or a student, monitor what's going on in the class. I'm also looking at a text messaging service through Google that I haven't experimented with enough to where I'm comfortable, but that may be coming out later in the year. And speaking of the Google Classroom, that is actually one of our questions here. What is my Google Classroom code? Students will need that code to join the Google Classroom and see what our resources we have or what assignments they have coming up. Now that won't be essential until I get back, but if you want to go ahead and join the classroom, the codes are located in the frequently asked questions document. So I think you'll find that very helpful. But anyway, please take a welcome letter. Please take your frequently asked questions acknowledgement form and return this to me. This is going to be students' first assignment in the class. They can just give that to the sub, and he or she will collect those for me, and then I will get them in the grade book when I get back. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Actually, parent night's the 20th. Okay, I'm not going to be able to get in touch with anybody from July 24th or so till a few days into August, just because of the nature of the training. We're going to be without any kind of communication. So if you have an urgent issue, please contact the school office. But if it's just a tip, hint, or suggestion, or some feedback related to you or your student and your particular needs, just email me and I'll get back to you, and we'll make adjustments when I get home. First 2 weeks of school, you might be wondering about those. You're going to be doing geography skills, so you'll be doing a lot of map reading and looking at North America in particular. And the second thing you'll be doing is starting a project on a Native American culture. We're going to look at what it meant to live in America before it was actually called America, because that's a European name for it. Anyway, again, I'm looking forward to this school year, and I hope that it's enjoyable for you as students, and I hope that parents, you find that it's beneficial for your child. Thanks.